Hey guys, Magnus here, bringing you another video. This one is another tapped out video. Now I have promised more tapped out videos, and I apologise, I haven't really lived up to that. So I'm going to try my best to get at least one tapped out video out a week. That will be like no level update. It will be a completely new topic. There won't be a level update or an event update, or it will actually be a complete either an ideas or like a top 10 list like I'm doing now. So this one is a top 10. This is a top 10 updates or like big events. So we're talking about big events, no small little not episode tie-ins as such. These are just quite big-ish updates, and these are the best ones. This is top 10 best updates. So at number 10, I have put the Twillinger's content update, or the Sideshow Bob update. I really like this update in a way. It's not amazing, but it did some good things and added some good buildings, and it was a really good way to introduce Sideshow Bob as an actual proper playable character, because before he was just a, tap him and get some cash kind of thing. And it added, all of Sideshow Bob's family, and it also added these mutants. It added a couple of costumes as well for Crusty and Sideshow Bob, and loads of buildings. It was amazing, and some of them were pretty affordable. Some of them were donuts. It wasn't half and half. I would say there was more affordable buildings than there was donut building, which is always a good thing. There was quite a few donut decorations and cool things, but overall it was quite an easy update, and a lot of non-premium players got quite a lot of stuff as well. So that's why I've put it as number 10. Number 9, I have put the Stonecutters update. The Stonecutters update was a really good thing. It introduced a really rememberable episode and an update that people really wanted. The only downside to the update is the fact that it released so many costumes and not enough characters, because it only really introduced 2 characters, that being number 1 and number 51. But it was a great update because we got loads of We got loads of buildings. We got 3 buildings, and we got a couple of a load of decorations, including the Satan's anvil, which I thought was amazing. Other things, and the characters were pretty easy to unlock. They weren't too hard for non-premium players again. So non-premium players did get usually got all the buildings and most of the characters and costumes as well. Some were premium, but it was still a really good update. So number 8 is the very recent Monorail update. This is the newest update, the one that's still kind of going to, it is going right now. So this update has unlocked quite a few characters. We have obviously Ray Patterson, Jesse Grass, we have the hippie, and we have the scientist dude as well, and we also have a costume for Homer. I'm hoping they also add Lyle, and it also returned Brandine, and Brandine is a permanent character to be bought. I'm pretty sure anyway, or at least she's there for a bit. And it's introduced the Monorail. I'm not amazed over what the Monorail is. It's not exactly an amazing thing, but it is still pretty cool. It's alright. I hate the fact they've added this with this whole trashy kind of update with the trash as well, but it's not too bad. I'm enjoying it thus far. Act 3 is just about to come out, so I think so anyway. And yeah, it is a really good update, and the Monorail is something that people have been wanting for a while, and I think they've lived up. They've kind of lived up to it. There's a bit of a fall, but it's not too bad. So number 7 is Whacking Day. Now Whacking Day is quite an old update, but this is one which I really enjoyed a lot, and there was a lot of hype for, and it really paid off. This is a Simpsons like holiday that the Simpsons characters have in the Simpsons universe, and it's a holiday that Springfield celebrates, and so that's what made it different, and I thought it was really cool. It didn't add loads of buildings, but it added quite a few, like Fort Sensible and Duff Stadium and Springfield Coliseum and Sleep-Easy Motel, and all of which were really, they weren't too, the last 2 prizes I remember were quite hard to get, and I had to end up skipping them with donuts, but most of the prizes were really easy to get for non-premium players. Just to know, I was a non-premium player here, kind of. At the start of the update, I was a non-premium player, I'll just say that. And then to the end, I became a premium player. So yeah, most of the things were really kind of easy to unlock. There was a few donut things as well, but nevertheless, it was a really good update and it added a lot of cool stuff. So what number are we on now? Number 6 is Christmas 2013. Christmas 2013. It was a pretty decent Christmas update, not the best, but we did get a few characters like Mr. Costington and the Yes Guy and the Snow Monster and then the Christmas Raccoon. Some really kind of wanted characters like Mr. Costington and the Yes Man. They were really heavily requested, so it's good we got them. We also got like stuff like the Eggnog Bar and the Claus Co. and the Springfield skating rink. Some really cool buildings, and especially the Springfield Mall, which was probably the best building that we added. A lot of decorations as well, really cool decorations they added in as well, and yeah, overall I thought it was a really decent update. Most of the things were pretty easy to get, but there was some things that were a bit harder, but hey ho. The next one, which is number 5 actually, so getting onto our top 5 now, is Halloween 2013, so just before Christmas. Again, this one added some really cool things. This made it really easier for the people who didn't get the Springfield Cemetery and the Pet Cemetery in the very, 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 very first Halloween update. It let them get them for a change. They were donuts, which is a bit unfortunate. It did add obviously the House of Evil and Bad Dream House as well, but they were also donuts, which was a bit of a disappointment. It was a bit disappointing how they were donuts for some reason. A lot of characters. Boobarella was added, the Frog Prince, Homer Simpson strongman costume, and a lot of them were like prize based, and you had to earn that currency over the whole event, and it was really straightforward and really easy to get the prizes. And yeah, it was pretty. I had a friend who was playing it as a non-premium player, and he found it pretty easy to actually get. I'm pretty sure he only didn't get the last prize, so that was really good. The next up, so number 4 is the Boardwalk or the Squidport update. Yeah, no, I really love this. The only problem I had with it is it was a bit heavily donut based, because there was a few of the cooler buildings were donuts, but most of the buildings were cash. For example, we obviously have the Malaria Zone, the Just Rain Sticks, the Flying Dutchman, all these kind of buildings. They were all cash based. Most of the decorations were cash based, apart from the Boardwalk performers, which is a bit unfortunate because most of them were donuts. However, the human statue was cash, but it was a brilliant update. There was a lot of hype for it, and it really paid off, like I say. And yeah, it's just great. It's really cool to have in your town and in your water. So number 3 is I've gone with the Superheroes update. I really love this update, guys. I don't know if you know, but I thought it was a great update. They added some really good characters like the Fallout Boy, and we also had Spider Pig added in there, and Radioactive Man, and obviously we had some cool costumes like Pie Man for Homer, and the Collector and Bartman, and it was really good. They added most of them were kind of superhero based buildings or fictional buildings in kind of comic books in the Simpsons world, but a lot of them were obviously, we had the Zenith City stuff as well, and we also had the Radioactive Man, HQ, and the Beach House. So most of them were kind of these less, that aren't actually real in the world of Springfield, but they were still really cool to add in our town. They are a bit clunky and a bit hard to put in and make them fit in your town, but hey ho, it's always cool to have them as buildings. So number 2 is Christmas 2012. Now this is the very first update I experienced in Tapped Out. I got tapped out just before the Christmas update 2012 came out, because I didn't actually get most of the buildings in this, but I really loved this update. This was the first time I actually played an update on a big event on Tapped Out, and I didn't even get half the stuff, but I really loved it. It really stuck with me, and this is the update that made me keep on playing Tapped Out. If it wasn't for this update, I wouldn't be playing Tapped Out right now. Probably I would have just deleted it off my iPad. I know it's a bit of a biased kind of thing because of it, but I think it was a great update. The prizes it was kind of you choose what you bought with your currency. You earn the currency over a small period, like these Christmas coins, and then you chose what you bought. I thought that was really cool. I wish they would do an update like that again, where you actually choose what you buy with your currency, because these whole earn to get prizes thing is cool, but it'd be really nice if they brought back the whole, you get to choose what you want thing, because I think that would be amazing. So just before we go on to our number 1 spot, let's have some honourable mentions. First of all, the Crusty Land update. Again, this one for me, Crusty Land, it was a really good update, but I just hated it because of all the fact that they haven't updated it ever since is annoyed me. So the fact they haven't updated it is the reason it hasn't got on the list, and it gave us all this space and only very few rides and decorations. And honestly, I think they could have added so much more rides and so much more decorations. They could have brought the Duff Garden stuff into it, or they could have brought loads into it. Other honourable mentions, we got the St. Patrick's Day updates. Again, they're really cool, nice little nugget updates, but they're just not big enough to get on this list, unfortunately. What else have we got? I'm pretty sure that's it. So can we have a drum roll? So number 1 is the Sports Day, or the Tap Ball and Soccer Cup 2015 content update. Now, as you probably guys know, watch my review for it, I really love this update. The reason I like it so much is, the only problem I have with it, again, is the whole costume thing. It's mostly costumes, but it brings in a couple of cool characters, like, what's his name? Doodar-Dee, the horse, and Springy. And, they're the only 2 kind of characters that are in, but they're mostly costumes. I don't mind costumes. Some people hate them, but I think the costumes in this one were really good, and they were different. They're not, Referee Homer, that was a decent costume. Pin Pal Apu, again, a decent costume. Baseball Jasper, I thought was a really funny costume, and that was a great one. Another example of a bad one would be the boxing Dredrick Tatum, because he's kind of already has an animation where he's kind of like, but Kung Fu Comic Book Guy and Jockey Bart, they were good costumes as well, and it added some really decent costumes into it, and the whole update as a whole was brilliant. The whole things with the flags I really liked. I don't know why, it's just something about them adding flags and bringing in all the cultures with the flags, and this whole idea of all countries coming together to play sports was a really nice idea that they did and tapped out. A lot of the buildings were kind of easy to get. Most of them you got, obviously they had community prizes, they brought them back. The Murder Horn was really good. That was one of my favourite things that was in this update. You could change your stadium to gold, clay, or was it the other one as well? We had Simpsons laser tag, Ally McBalls, loads of sporty kind of related buildings, and I just thought it was a really good update, really creative. It was something completely different that honestly I didn't really expect them to release. It's a good idea, it's not just bland like Christmas and Halloween where it's kind of obvious. It's very creative, and they made something really good. So tune in next week, guys. I'm going to be doing my top 10 worst updates. That's going to be a fun list to do. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you disagree with my list, fair enough. Please tell me your top 10, or maybe top 5, or top 3 at least. I'd really appreciate it. Just want to quickly add, because a lot of people tell me to add me in their comments. I don't add people, but feel free to leave your name in the description if you want someone else to add you, because I'm more than happy for you to put your name in the description. I mean, in the comments even. Trying to get other people to add you. That's fine. So yeah, guys, this was a long video, so I hope you enjoyed. This is going to be it for my weekly video, because I'm knackered at talking. I'm knackered from talking. Alright, I'll see you next video, guys. Goodbye.